Good morning, everybody. How's everybody doing today? It's time for another in Jim Brentar's music series, songs I've written over the years that have never really seen the light of day. Of course, this begs the question, why should I want some of these songs to see the light of day? Some of them aren't very good. I don't necessarily think they're bad, but they're not necessarily very good. For example, the song I'm about to play today is called Walking in the Garden. I started off with just two lines I had scribbled in my little notebook at one point. I was walking in the garden when I saw the Lady Arden. That was it. Just two lines. That's where the song started. So, I put them in a computer file, and my method of songwriting usually involves sitting down at the computer to write and open up one of the files of songs in progress, see if I can do some more work on it. If I can, great. If not, great. Sometimes I would just add a word or two or a line or two. And if I added like a word here, a word there, a line here, a line there, and I did that for like a dozen different songs, well, that was a good day of songwriting. Even if none of them that I worked on became close to being finished, it was still a good day of songwriting. So that's what happened with this song. Every time I sat down, it seems I would add a line or two. Never really a whole verse, except towards the end of writing it, I occasionally would add a whole verse at once, but sort of like clockwork. Every time I sat down at the computer to write, I would add a line or two to this song. Funny thing happened. A little over halfway through writing this song, I noticed something. I was basically rewriting an old English folk song. The old English folk song in question was Matty Groves. That's Matty Groves. A song that eventually morphed into an American folk song called Shady Grove, but the original was sort of a tragic love story where the wife of a lord falls in love with a common working class individual and has a tragic ending. But it's a very classic English folk song. And once I realized that I was simply rewriting this song, it became actually easier to write because all of a sudden I knew exactly where the song was going. Now, I don't think this is a particularly good song, but since I'm trying to bring the light of day to some of these songs, I figure, well, let's bring the light of day to some of these songs, even if in the light of day they don't necessarily look or sound all that good. I was walking in the garden when I saw the Lady Arden. She was lovely, hair of silver, all my wealth I would gladly give her. She walked by me, I did follow, through the woods and through the hollow. By the river river she did linger, took the ring from off her finger. Tossed it in where the water flows, and walked away with her eyes closed. I dived into Pearson River, felt my bones begin to shiver. I know not how I found the ring, stuck it on my little finger. When I surfaced, she was there, heard me gasping for some air. Took her dress and wrapped it round me, told me she was glad she found me. Gathered wood and piled it high, built a fire by the riverside. Took my clothes and hung them to dry, sat down beside me, began to cry. Put my arm around her shoulder, pulled her close, I wanted to hold her. In each other's arms is how they found us. Lord Arden's men, they did surround us. To angry words did we awaken, and as prisoners we were taken. But there was no trial, nor would there be. They hung us from the willow tree. Beneath the tree, upon the ground, her golden ring Lord Arden found. It will be found no more forever. He threw it back into the river, and the river flows into the sea. So do the years to eternity. And there is a place where lovers gone may meet again, and love goes on. Yes, there is a place on a distant shore where love reigns forevermore. So, there you have it, Walking in the Garden. You may or may not have noticed that I occasionally sing a note that I don't quite hit right, or at least I can't hold on its true pitch for very long. And also on the guitar, my fingers occasionally stumble a bit. At the time, my thoughts were that it's a rough demo. Its only purpose is to document the song, so I have it words of music that I can refer to or play for others or do whatever. But it's not a great performance. It's not a great recording. And another thing I am now remembering about when I recorded it is that when I wrote the song, I found as I went to record it that I couldn't sing it very well in the key that I wrote it in. So I found the key that I could record it in, but I had difficulty playing it in that key. What I had to do was capo the guitar at a certain fret and first do a version through where I'm just playing the chords and then go back and lay down the vocal track afterwards. Until that time, I usually recorded the rhythm guitar and the vocals on the same take, and I didn't necessarily do multiple takes of the vocals. Once again, it's just to document the song, right? Well, I'll talk in the future more about that whole attitude, but needless to say, it is not a great song, it's not a great performance, it's not a great recording, but at least now it shall see the light of day. Have a good one, everybody.